Broadcasting live from the Vegas Video Network studios, just steps from the Las Vegas Strip, it's Talktails! And now our host, she's our very own kaleidoscope of talent. What? It's Kelly Clinton!
Wow, we have a huge crowd in the studio audience. Welcome to Talktails. I am your host, Kelly Clinton Holmes, and we are on the Vegas Video Network. I am so excited. What was that? Our producer went, oh, yay. Okay, let's all say yay together. Vegas Video Network. Yay! Well, this week, it was so spontaneous. This week we have a guest that I'm really excited. I'm always excited, but this is someone who I've known for, I shouldn't even bring up how many years, probably 30 years, technically 30 years. He and his family moved to Las Vegas probably 35 years ago. And I'll get into what the name of the band was in the past, but you know them here in Las Vegas as Santa Fe, and they perform at the Palms on Monday nights, Santa Fe and the Fat City Horns. Mr. Jerry Lopez is here today on Talktails. I'm such a huge fan. Well, I want to introduce you to another person who I'm also a fan of, our Talktails Orchestra, Mr. Kenny Davidson. Yeah, baby. I love your purple bow tie. We're going to have to write a song about your bow tie wearing self.
Yeah?
I also want to say hi to our producer-director, Mr. Scott Whitney is here. Hi, Scott.
Konnichiwa, Kelly.
Are you drinking?
No.
You're not drinking?
Nope.
Okay. Well, because, he's always giving me a hard time because I invite all my friends in. Out of about 12 guests, we've had 3 people have a drink.
Yeah, we used to call the show Talktails. Now we call never mind. I had a really funny line that would probably get me in trouble.
All right, well, if you think of it,
in trouble.
If you think of it, come back to us.
No, I have it. I just can't say
it.
it.
You can't say it?
Yes.
I was just actually before the show talking to Jerry Lopez just for a minute, and right in the middle of it, I said, that just makes me think about, and that was it. The thought was gone. This is frightening.
I feel you, but I get that.
Then I got it a few minutes later, but it was too late. Anyway, Scott, do you want to hear about our big weekend at the Smith Center?
Yes, it was. I heard.
You did hear?
The reviews were.
Who told you?
Jacob.
Jacob Cannon, our technical director.
Right.
So I got to work today, and I almost sat on this. This is a card. This is a thank you card. Clint Holmes is in the audience, and they said, he and his beautiful wife Sally said thank you, and they really enjoyed the show. We worked. Clint had 3 female guests on the show.
Right.
I was one of them.
Oh.
And the other 2 girls were Serena Henry from Smokey Robinson's show, and she is amazing, and Pascal Elia, who is new to Las Vegas, who happens to sing in 7 different languages, Scott.
Wow.
What do you think of that?
I saw her at the Composer's Showcase.
Yes.
She did the Latin thing with Uli, real long name guy.
Gessendorfer.
Exactly.
Yes.
She was outstanding.
She also works at the Dispensary, a very cool little club lounge.
Yeah.
But 7, did you speak any other languages? And
No.
back to me.
Not really. was that too long? Not so much on me,
no.
Jacob.
You answered me with the pause, but I actually, when I hear someone like her, it's inspiring, and I always think to myself, I am going to learn how to speak another language. Maybe French, maybe Italian, and I'm going to take courses, and I'm going to study, and I'm going to get all the tapes, and then the gig is over, and then so is that idea.
If you could speak any language, what language would it be? You could just have it. What would it be?
It would probably be Italian.
Why?
Just because I'm half Italian.
You're half Italian?
Yeah, the camera's not catching right now. No, I am. I'm
exactly. What part is that?
It's the pasta part. But anyway, never mind.
The pasta part?
The pasta part. Although my mom, who is the full-blooded Italian, is like spaghetti, just one spaghetti.
You're half Italian.
I'm half Italian, half Irish. That's why I can't drink. I turn into a man and call you outside.
Well, that wouldn't be so bad. We could dance the tango. I don't know what that meant.
Anyway, there's one more thing I want to talk about is tomorrow's the election.
Oh,
now,
God,
I do not talk about politics, and now I'm really going to make it a rule because Facebook, which is such a beautiful thing, right? You make friends. Oh, I have 1,000 friends. I have 300 friends. I have friends who I've known for years. And then you read what they write about the election on Facebook, and you go, "Oh my goodness!
I know.
I don't know them at all." And anyway, but
have you unfriended anybody because of that?
No, I haven't.
Has anybody unfriended you because of what you said?
I haven't really participated.
Oh, yes, you have.
One little thing.
Oh, you've done more than one.
This is what I said. That's not very nice.
You posted some stuff about politics.
No, I posted like, hey, get out and vote, and maybe there was a picture of who I was voting for.
Yes, I would say I know who you're voting for.
Okay, but I'm proud of that. But I just can't tell you how crazy it gets and how, I feel like, oh my God, I'm back in high school.
It is like that.
But I'm not unfriending, or I'm just going to do like my friend Jerry Lopez says, just scroll, keep scrolling down.
Well, no one's going to change their mind on what you say on Facebook.
Well, you never know. You never know. But I just hope everybody goes out and votes.
I already voted.
I voted. I early voted. Clint and I went, and then we walked out and felt really good about ourselves. I put the sticker right on me. He wouldn't do that. He didn't think that was cool.
I took a picture of the sticker and put it on Facebook.
Yeah. Well, we're going to find out a whole lot about a friend of mine who is so talented. He's a songwriter, a singer, a musician, a band leader. He does so many things. From Santa Fe and the Fat City Horns, Mr. Jerry Lopez, right after this on Talktails.
3, 2, 1. Oh, I need to come up with something funny to say.
Geez.
3, 2, 1. Wow. But the co-host. Really, I have to say watching. Well, I'm doing...
That's how you do it. You dare
Really?
watch. There
Okay.
you go.
I got it.
We are the Odds Couple.
Hi, my name is Scott Pritchard.
And I am Anthony Padilla.
You're watching the Vegas Video Network.
You are.
You are. We are too.
Oh, we're back. Welcome to Talktails. I want you to say hello to a very talented friend of mine. Mr. Jerry Lopez is joining us. Listen to your people.
My people.
Jerry Lopez.
My God.
I'm so glad you're here. Yesterday,
Thanks for
I
having me.
saw you for
Yeah,
really quickly, but you were being honored by the Showbiz Society.
Yeah.
And the turnout was huge. And anyway, so tell us what that was all about, the Showbiz Society.
Well, the Showbiz Society, I just became a member of the Showbiz Society, and my friend Tony Saka called me and he said, we've got the Showbiz Society, and we basically...
Can you say Showbiz Society one more time?
Sociedad de, show business. Anyway, they, basically they raise money and they circle the wagons for entertainers who need it, who are, in financial problems or whatever. And I'm a big supporter of that in our community in Las Vegas. So when they told me that they wanted to honor my brother Lenny and I was a little embarrassed. I don't know.
Well, you're not the limelight guy. You're in the limelight a lot.
I'm way comfortable behind my guitar in the band, and so, I didn't even really tell very many people about it.
But look at the turnout.
Yeah,
it was really packed in there. And Jerry and Lenny Lopez, I have known you guys for so many years, but you've been in Las Vegas for over 35 years.
Yeah.
And I heard that you came in here, your whole family, drove in a school bus, like the Partridge family.
Yeah, basically we did. We had we had an old school bus, and we told a story yesterday. Bobby Morris, who's an incredible drummer, agent for years and years, he showed up there, and he actually named our band Santa Fe, because we heard he was an agent, and we came in from Santa Fe, and our bus was this bright red. It was an old school bus, and it said Los Hermanos Lopez on the side of it.
That was the
Lopez
original.
Brothers. That was the name of the band. And Bobby's so funny. He says, so these boys pull up in this bus. He says, and I said, so what are you selling, meat? Anyway, we talked about it, and to us this was huge. We're in this office at Bobby Morris, And you know, and we'd come from Santa Fe. We all had our hair down to here, parted in the middle. We looked like Carlos Santana, circa '69, you know, and pretty rough around the edges. And so, you know, he said, "The name's not going to work, kids." You know,
It's a mouthful.
yeah, where you from? You know, we're from Santa Fe. He goes, "Well, there's the band Chicago. There's Boston. You guys are Santa Fe." We went, "Great."
Wow,
Perfect.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
I see. And also when I read about it, I thought they just kind of said, "Oh, you know, the guy's from Santa Fe," and it just kind of, I didn't know it was Bobby Morris.
Bobby Morris.
And he was a drummer. He worked with a lot of people.
Yeah.
He worked with Elvis.
Elvis,
right?
Louis Prima.
Yeah.
He was, I was telling Clint earlier that he, from what I understand from Bobby, he was Buddy Rich's Reed drummer. And Buddy Rich was an incredible drummer. I mean, but a lot of times maybe his reading wasn't as...
Right.
And Bobby would come in, read a chart, and play it. Buddy would hear it, and then just get on the drum
That
set
would be it.
and play the
It
heck
would
out of
just-
it. Yeah.
See, that's kind of
That's pretty remarkable
yeah,
now. And I can't confirm that, but that's what Bobby told me 35 years ago. So
I believe everything Bobby Morris said.
yeah.
I do, though. I do.
So let me tell you a Bobby Morris story real quick. Bobby, if you're watching, this is funny. So he sends us on the road to the Midwest. And we get to this nightclub, and we're a bar band. We had actually, right before that, we'd been playing in Mexican bars in North Las Vegas where we were the band and the bouncers. Okay, it was pretty rough. And so he sends us out on the road, and we get to this club, and so the club owner goes, "Okay, now about the show." And we said, "The show?" He said, "Yeah, you guys, you're going to do a dance set, and then you're going to do a show. Then you're going to do another dance set." And we said, "Well, we don't do a show." So we get to the room, and we called and I said, "Bobby, man, what did you do? You know, what?" He goes, "Look, Jerry, what you do is you just take your microphone stands, you put them out on the dance floor, and you do your same darn set. That's it. You call it the show."
That's an agent, right?
Oh, my
That's
God.
what
My
they
dad
do.
got on the phone. He goes, "I'll kill you, Bobby."
Isn't that like the Broadway
great.
Danny Rose, right? Yeah,
I'm
you need a
telling you.
chicken, the dancer, sure, I got it. And send you on the gig.
We had
Well,
some
thank
pretty
goodness
crazy
for him.
times.
He was like your
Oh yeah,
first
no,
booking agent here.
I owe a lot to Bobby.
Absolutely.
We got a very quick education.
Now, 35 years ago. Okay, now you're saying you had long hair, but
Yeah.
this started long before that. You and your brother, or you first, right? And you had an older brother named Gilbert, right?
Yeah.
Your dad's name is Gilbert, and then you had
older brother Gilbert.
your older brother Gilbert, and
Myself.
the two of you, Gilbert and Jerry, were out there performing when you were like 4 years old.
Yeah, we
Before
started really
first
before we were in school.
Wow.
Yeah, we were really little, and the way that happened is very poor family, and we had an old black and white television set, and it broke, and there wasn't any money to fix it, and so my dad borrowed my uncle's guitar. My uncle lived in another little adobe house in the back, and my dad and my mom would sit and sing, and that was the entertainment because the television was history.
Now, had they been singing their whole lives, or was
My
just...
dad grew up singing. And his brothers sang, and my mother's father, Nicolas, was like an operatic singer, and her mother was a songwriter. The whole family, we're like carnies.
Yeah.
You know, we're like you're
Or the
you're
Flying
born.
Wallendas?
Yeah. This chose us. We didn't
Yes,
choose it, and
absolutely.
so it was always around. But they started doing it, and we were gravitated to that. And my brother Gilbert originally showed the first signs of really wanting to do it, and the talent. You know.
What did he play? Did he choose?
Gilbert
the
played
guitar?
everything. He played
really?
he played drums in the band. He played bass in the band. He played guitar. He played. Gilbert, you could put him in a room with bagpipes, and he'd come out 5 minutes later and play it.
Wow.
Yeah, he was. When God was pouring the talent out, his hands slipped. So yeah.
So cool. And you chose guitar, which you probably play other.
Yeah, actually, my first instrument was I played violin.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and then then I played the big Mexican mariachi, the guitarrón. I played that, and but the guitar was always around. My dad had the guitar, and so he showed us a few chords, and very quickly we kind of passed Dad up. But I have to tell you that my dad knew about 4 or 5 chords, but he's written 25, 30 songs that have.
And was he
many of
writing
them-
back
Oh
then?
yeah, and many of them covered by other artists. At the time, my dad was he was a prison guard at the New Mexico State Penitentiary, and he would be in the tower like 8, 10 hours a day, and he would just write. He'd come up with these ideas. In those days, they didn't have cassette players or anything, and so he said he would just whistle and hum the sing until he could hardly wait to get out of the tower and run back home and grab his guitar, and
That was so great.
Yeah.
I want to hear more, but we have a live chat question. Who do we have, Scott?
Bill, this is a good question. Among other musicians in Vegas, you're very well respected. What do you think contributes to that reputation?
Yes. You're respected by not only fellow musicians, but all of the people you've worked with over the years. They come to you often to...
A lot of people say they go to church.
Absolutely, on Monday night.
Yeah. Well, we call our Monday night band, Santa Fe and the Fat City Horns, we call it our Healings. And the way that came about is, we formed this band. All of us are experienced musicians and writers and producers, and we've all been on big tours and played in big shows, but we were always doing music that other people wanted us to do, and that's fine. I'm blessed that I've been able to do that, but we decided to put a band together that would be about what we wanted to do, music we wanted to play for ourselves, really, very self-serving kind of a thing. And so we started doing this thing, and word of mouth got out in the musical community, and people came to see it, and I found out that there was this really unserved demographic of people, musically. They couldn't hear what they wanted to hear. We're kind of a throwback to the old, we're a cross between Tito Puente, Maynard Ferguson, and Earth, Wind & Fire, maybe, And so anyway, I had a really bad night one night or day, and I showed up at the gig, and by the second song, it all goes away completely, and I felt healed, and I said, let the healing begin, and it's just continued. And
it's true. It does kind of just put...
It does.
For all of us that do this, but for when you're really playing...
Yeah, when you're doing it from the heart, when you're
Yes.
it's interesting. It's kind of this dance we do with the audience, because we're having a great time and we love and respect each other on stage. I think that's a big part of it, and I think that people can feel how we feel about each other.
Right.
And although we're dead serious about what we're playing, we do it in a very it's a non-egotistical thing up there. All I can tell you is that everybody leaves all of that away from there. And
exactly, because you have only the best, like you said, all people who have done a lot musically and toured and everything. Now, over the years, you've become such a strong leader. I remember coming to you, and I know people still do. I came to you in my 20s, which is like 5 years ago.
Yeah, you're a little girl.
But I'd come and say, Jerry, I'm trying to lead my band, and they're kind of walking all over me, and this is happening. And you would always give me great advice about laying out what you expect as far as on time, or this is what I'm paying you. You gave me such great advice.
Yeah. Well, and I learned it all the hard way.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things that I didn't do right when I was a young man. I learned from those things as well. The one thing that, and it's funny because I hear this from all the guys that were in the band before, and I'm talking about in the 70s and the 80s, and they go, because we partied a lot. A
long time ago.
A long time ago. But we partied a lot, and there was all kinds of distractions, but we always rehearsed. We never missed a gig, and we rehearsed every single day. And they used to call me Mussolini. Guys. But we weren't a bunch of mercenaries getting together to play somebody else's gig. This was our band.
That's right.
And so, at the time, none of us had any schooling. We hadn't gone to college or didn't know how to read music. And so what we lacked in that, we had to make up for in elbow grease. And so we spent a lot of hours rehearsing. And
that's what I was going to ask you about, the process of that, but you just answered it.
Yeah.
Your music is meticulous.
Yeah.
And so you do, now with the Monday night thing.
Now, things have changed over the years.
Yeah, well, that's good. You were working like 6 nights a week.
Yeah. And so now with this band, it's a completely different story. It's taken me 4 or 5 months to get a schedule together so we can go in the studio tomorrow, because I've got 15 guys and they've all got completely different schedules. And so the way that it's done now is, I'll give you an example. I'll write a song and I'll demo it at home, and I'll send the rough demo to one of our horn arrangers, either Nathan Tenoy or Dave Richardson, and they'll then do a horn arrangement. They'll superimpose that on the demo that I did, and
Wow.
send it back as a WAV file or MIDI file or whatever. And then we'll send out PDFs with the charts and an MP3 to everybody. And so
Wow.
we're kind of like an internet band. and we'll do like 3 or 4 songs like that. We'll get them ready, and then we'll schedule a time when we can get together just briefly to go over the transitions, the opening, and then it's like we're on.
But that's like a lifetime of experience. So
It
you
is.
know who you're calling, and it's a lot of technology, but you know who you're getting. We have another live chat question, Scott. Nice talking to you,
Yes, yes,
Scott.
no, yes,
I
yes.
see the light flashing.
I know you're right.
flashing.
Bet from New Jersey has a question. She says, I can't wait to hear your new CD, Jerry. Any idea when it's going to be released?
Well, because our process is a little slower, it's probably not going to be till probably February.
That's not too far away.
No, it isn't. And we're getting the bulk of it done over the next week. We've locked down the studio for a full week. And we've got 13 songs.
Wow.
Only 5 of them we're doing on the gig now. So the rest of them no one's ever even heard. And some of the guys in the band haven't heard yet. And they will
Are they
tomorrow.
original? Are these
It's all
some of the
original
originals?
music, yeah.
Oh, it's all original.
It's all original music, yeah.
And you have quite a few CDs.
Yeah, we've got a blue double CD live. Blue. I call it the blue
Like
CD because
blue?
it's blue.
Oh, it's
No,
blue.
it's blue. The
It's
cover.
literally blue.
Yeah, we recorded that in 2005 at the Palace Station.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got a live CD called Let the Healing Begin that we recorded live at the Palms.
Mm-hmm.
And then year before last we recorded one called When the Curtain Goes Up.
Oh.
And that's a studio CD. That's not a live one. And that's all original music except for one song, maybe, I think. Yeah.
Okay, there's one CD that you wrote, kind of a love. Well, you wrote, your dad wrote, and you wrote a love letter kind of to your dad. It was like a family, a gift you wanted to give to him, right?
The CD.
To do the CD
Yeah,
that you worked on. And
Yeah.
It was really a private family thing.
Well, like
What
I told you, my
happened?
dad's been a writer all these years, and there were artists in Tejano music, which is its own kind of music. I want to say hello to all my friends in Texas, by the way, who might be watching today, but I've got a lot of supporters and friends in Texas in the Tejano music. But my dad had always wished that one of us would record his songs, and so I thought it'd be a wonderful tribute and to leave a legacy and record some of my dad's songs. So I called a friend of mine who's got 10 Grammys as a producer in this
Wow.
music. Yeah, he's like the David Foster of this
Right.
music. And I told him I want to do these 10 songs. I want to do them right. And, I already had this vision of what I wanted it to be. But it was just meant to be a family kind of thing. I was going to maybe print up a couple hundred, give them to friends and family.
You probably have a couple hundred people in your immediate
Yeah,
family.
that's right.
don't you?
That's what I figured,
Big family.
But anyway, so we started this process, and a label found out about it, and they asked me if I would sign with them, and we do this distribution deal. And then people on the Grammy committee found out about it, and I was up for ballot for a nomination for Latin Grammy and for the regular Grammys. Haven't gotten one, but anyway.
Yeah,
so
but
the
it's-
word got out, and the songs have been number 1 and number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5
That's amazing.
for the last
really,
year.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
It's pretty.
And these are
pretty
songs
cool.
that your dad wrote, and you wrote
Yeah.
some together.
Yeah, I co-wrote one of them, and my brother Gilbert wrote one of them, and my dad wrote the rest of them.
And your brother Lenny is on the CD.
Lenny's
too.
on it too. Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
such a great talent too. Now
Lenny's amazing.
I know he's amazing and he's funny and he's crazy.
Yeah.
But such the harmonies, you guys. He's like the harmony king, right?
Yeah, he is. He's incredibly fast in the recording studio. Also, it's funny. Most of the stuff that I do is improvisational. So I'll go in if I'm writing background vocals, and I'll sing background vocals, and then I'll come back in. I go, okay, what did I do? Okay, I did this and I did that. Lenny knows exactly what he did, where he breathed, where he used vibrato, where he didn't. He's a machine.
Now, where did that come from? I mean, I know it's
That-
all of you learning.
I don't know. That's a special gift that Lenny has, and there are other people like that I know, but he's really
Yeah.
really fast, really good at it.
consistent, and he's
But he is crazy.
He's
I mean,
crazy, but
that was-
that's part of his charm.
That was the best part. Yesterday we had this thing, right, and and Clint got up and spoke. And Clint, thank you for doing that. That was awesome. That was beautiful. I was really moved. But the first thing he says, Lenny's crazy, and everybody said, yeah, he is. And that a lot of times with a lot of artists, they come hand in hand, and we want to separate the genius from the madness many times, and you can't always do that. So fortunately, I don't have. I've got a lot of really brilliant musicians around me, and I don't have very many madmen.
Right.
There's like hardly any high maintenance people.
Right.
But that's been a lifetime of a sifting process. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, also, he plays percussion.
Lenny plays percussion. He used to play bass in the band. He played drums in the band. He played trumpet.
You guys are so much
He's
better
another
than
one
the
of those
Partridge
guys.
Family.
I don't know.
We have another live chat question. Who do we have, Scott?
David Partridge is on the line.
Oh, no.
Now, when visiting Vegas, where else can people see and hear you besides the Palms gig?
The other thing that I do
Yeah.
is I'm the band leader with Vegas the Show over at Planet Hollywood, which is a big production show with showgirls, and we've got a small, big band. That band was voted best band in Vegas last year.
That's right. It's a great show. We've had a couple of the
the principals,
stars, the principals
Yes.
of the show.
Yeah, it's a fun show, and so, but if you come to that show, you're going to see a guy in a tuxedo playing the guitar. It's not really.
But you were a part of it.
But I'm a part of that, sure.
You and our friend Pat
Caddick,
right?
yeah, no, and we've assembled a bunch of great guys. It's a good show, it really is.
It's a great show. And this is not something you do this a lot. You help people get shows like Cirque shows. They call you and say, who should we get?
I put the Donnie and Marie band together, and I helped with Bette Midler's show, and I'm a headhunter for Cirque people, and
that's a positive thing, right?
the Human Nature guys. I helped them put that band
These
together.
These are all the big shows in Las Vegas.
Well, what happened is I've just been here a long time, and I know a lot of people. And
it's respect.
And I save it is, and basically when people call me, I tell them what's going to happen is I'm going to save you a lot of problems, because you and I and all of us know incredibly gifted musicians who can't work with everybody.
That's right.
Or maybe different personalities, and I've kind of got that figured out. So I
like
kinda
she's
help
the
them.
best of everything, but she'll kill you.
Right, and
Stuff
she
like
may
that.
not gel.
So if you want,
and especially for example, when we put the band together for Vegas the Show, this was a brand new show. We were creating this as we started it. It wasn't like there was already a book and there was the whole thing, and so we needed guys who had a temperament, who could deal with a whole lot of
personalities.
That's right.
Change.
That's right. There are people who are wonderful musicians and they're great, but they're not the person for that.
Right.
And
because they'll go, the chart went like this. Why are you changing it?
Or I can't sit here 6 hours to play 5 minutes and then wait another 6. You know how it is. It's a lot of hurry.
How about our friend Adam Schendel, who says, "No eat, no beat." you just got to keep feeding our Adam.
No eat, no beat.
No eat, no beat,
like
baby.
that.
Now I know we're running out of time, Scott, but can we keep going a little longer? Because you come from a big family, brothers and sisters.
My brother talked and play and sing anyway.
Well, we're definitely we got to have we got to have our healing. But anyway, you come from you have a lot of brothers. You have four. Was it four boys?
It was Gilbert, Lenny, myself, and then my younger brother Mark, who was a stepbrother.
Yeah.
And he was on the road with us. He was our roadie, and
played a little percussion.
Yeah. The whole family, and then I have 4 sisters.
You have 4 sisters?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Well, 3 stepsisters and my real sister Joni, but it was a gang of us.
Yeah, and so you thought that when you met your beautiful wife, and her name is
Sari.
She's absolutely gorgeous.
Yes, she is.
And then you decided to also have a plethora of children.
Yeah, I've got 5 kids.
Whew.
One of them turned 24 today.
How could
Spencer.
that be? How could that be?
I don't know how that happened. I've got one that's 26,
What?
24, 23, 15, and 14.
Wow. You're exhausted, aren't you? And you have to work, don't you?
I gotta work. It's great though. I love them. My house is it's 24 hours a day at my house. I mean, I'm generally up working, and I've got a little studio down the street, but I do a lot of stuff at the house.
Down the street, I like
down
that
the street.
part.
Well, I can't. It's too hard when you're trying to work,
Right.
and I'm so accessible to the kids and the wife and the things, and so I have to get away when I'm really seriously working. But my house is, 24 hours a day.
Oh, I can't
Stuff
imagine.
going on.
And none of them are in show business, are they?
No, they're not in show business.
Is that a law?
They've all got they've all got the gift to some degree. Some more than others.
Right.
But I didn't. It's a tough business, and I've got 4 girls, and so
4 girls.
Yeah.
And
then my youngest is a son.
Wow.
And he's a saxophone player, and he's
Oh,
really
he is.
good. Yeah.
Okay, and I know one of your daughters is like a tennis pro. I mean, she's like
Rocky. She's a
love that
15-year-old,
name.
and she's a nationally ranked tennis player, and that's her world. And so she's always traveling, and so our house is tennis and guitars.
Yeah.
You know?
And Sari was a singer. I mean, to me, once you're a singer, you're always a singer.
She's still
But
singing.
she's still
in
singing?
the house, and she's singing. And
Yeah.
she was a singer when I met her too.
The twins.
The
They were the
twins,
twins.
Sari and Stacy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gorgeous. See how far we go back?
I know.
You've been married how many years?
Well, about 26 years now.
26
Yeah.
years. Okay, so then we know each other 26 years. That's it. Now 30. We have another live chat question.
Yeah, this is from me. Have you hired musicians who weren't as good as others on a particular instrument, but they were just easier to get along with?
Yeah, absolutely.
One time.
Yes. No. There are gigs that don't call for Oscar Peterson on the piano. Okay. There are gigs that don't call for Paco de Lucia on guitar or David Sanborn on saxophone.
Right.
There are gigs that what they call for is someone that can show up,
Right.
be consistent, have a great attitude, and play the ink, and
Right.
play the music, and so.
And bring the suit to the cleaners.
And then bring the suit to the cleaners. And then a lot of times also, I mean, I've done things where I was a musical director for an Elvis show for a minute. And I hired guys who were familiar with that genre of music and who really felt that.
Right.
And
Authentically.
because I can get the greatest jazz musician, get him on that gig, and his attitude's going to go downhill very quickly, and that's going to spread, and then that's going to be a nightmare. So you choose your ingredients for whatever kind of stew you're cooking.
Right. Now, for almost 7 years, I think it was 7 years, you played with my favorite person in the world, Clint Holmes.
Yes.
At Harrah's, and he kind of touched on that story yesterday when he spoke at the Showbiz Society event. And he said once he saw your band, he actually said his manager and he went and said, "That's your band." And he said, "Well, there's like 14 people up there. I can't afford that." And his manager said, "You can't afford not to have that band."
I'm so glad that happened.
It was a magical
Yeah,
connection.
it was a win-win.
Yeah.
It really was. For us, I'd always loved Clint, and I'd gotten a chance to work with him at the Golden Nugget before that, and so his talent, the level at which he does what he does is very high, and I'm like a moth to a flame. I'm drawn to that. So I immediately wanted to work with him, and secondly, it kept Santa Fe together, so that now we knew that all of us would be together. We could do our Monday night or whichever night we chose to do what we do our healings. We would all be working together. And I was telling someone yesterday at the Showbiz Society meeting, they talked about that, how great the show was with Clint, and I said, what was really awesome, something you won't see with a lot of other artists, is what the process was, which is in rehearsals, Clint had a clear vision of what he wanted to do, but he was like, "This is what I'm thinking about doing. What do you think?" And what he knew that if he brought all of these people to the table that had so much to give, he's one of the few people I know that realizes that by lighting my candle, his isn't diminished. He just lights up the stage.
Love that. Yep.
And and so
and that's how he feels.
that's the way he is, and it showed, and the show was it was magical.
The show
It
was
every
always
night.
magical.
Yeah.
And it was different, right? You would change it.
It was awesome. It was wonderful.
It was
Yeah,
such a
we
great
need to do
collaboration.
another
More,
show,
more,
Clint.
more
Come
Clint
on.
Holmes with Santa Fe.
I mean, there's nothing like that. There's nothing like
There's
that.
nothing
Is there
like
anything like that? There's nothing like
No,
that.
absolutely not. We got to do it again, Clint.
I'm telling you.
Okay, now before we say goodbye, we have to have some Jerry Lopez music and a song and that voice. And of course, I didn't mention that you've worked with so many people: Grover Washington Jr. and Ricky Martin and
Did I
Tom Scott.
Did I tell you about my afternoon with Michael Jackson?
No. Want to tell us?
You want to hear me sing instead, or?
I want you to do both.
The Michael Jackson thing is way more interesting.
But you're not getting that. You're not getting out of this. But go ahead.
Okay. So I get a call from the Palm Studio, and I've done a lot of sessions
Why don't you
up
back
there.
yourself up
They'll
while
call
you're
me,
telling
you
the
know.
story?
Well, yeah, right.
So I get a call.
So I get a call.
Yeah.
The Palm Studio. Anyway, and I've done a lot of sessions up there for them. Zoe Thrall and her husband Pat Thrall, who's an amazing guitarist, they call me, and I've done stuff for, LL Cool J, and I mean, just really different kind of thing. They called me and they said, would you like to do a guitar session? I said, sure. They said, well, it's for Michael Jackson. I said, really? They said, yeah. I said, are you sure? You want me to? They said, yeah, well, what's going to happen is he's building a little studio at his house that he bought here, and he wanted someone that he could write with, collaborate with, and we gave him your name, so we're going to hook you up directly. And I got a call from somebody, and they said, the client, they never used his name, the client would like to meet you at the studio. And I said, well, okay, well, great. What kind of a session is it? Do I need to bring a nylon string guitar or a steel string guitar? Do I need electric guitar? Do I need effects? What are we doing? And the guy said, I don't really know. I'll let you know. Well, he never got back to me, and so I thought it was,
Right.
And so the next day, about 12:15, I get a call, and he goes, Mr. Lopez, we're here at the Palms. We were expecting you at noon. I said, you never called me back to tell me what we're doing. He says, well, today we were really just going to do paperwork. We need you to sign non-disclosure agreements so you can't talk about it like I'm talking about it right now. And so I get out there. It's like 115 degrees, and and they're out there staying with those big black Suburbans, the black ones that we saw Michael dancing on TV. And I'm out there signing these papers, and they said, we'll call you in a few days. Anyway, I got a call. They said, the client would like to meet you. I said, what am I going to do? They said, we still don't know. I said, it's okay. So I dragged a bunch of stuff.
Oh, you brought all your stuff.
And I met them. They met me. They wanted to meet me in the parking lot of a grocery store.
That sounds kind of scary.
Here's what was going on. At the time, I'd heard a rumor that the Jacksons were going to take over the Star Trek experience room, and they were going to put a show in there. And I thought, one of two things can happen. I'll either have a great story to tell, or maybe I could get the contracting gig and help them put together whatever they're going to do over there.
Right.
So I was in for the adventure. And anyway, I showed up, and it was just a little room, and Michael had a parquet floor and some mirrors and dance bars, and Pat Thrall was setting up a little Pro Tools rig in the corner. And it was just Michael and Pat and myself. And he was just the sweetest guy, and he had some ideas he wanted to mess with and some samples, and we kind of started writing this thing.
That's cool.
And then the gear went down, and while Pat was trying to fix it, they had to send some guy to Fry's to get another hard drive. And Michael and I just sat and we talked about kids and movies, and he talked about when he was married to Elvis's daughter, and the Colonel, and all kinds of things I'd even forgot about.
So he was just, you got to see that other side of him.
I did, and he was
the real
like,
guy.
Yeah, he says, I have a lot of people that I work with in Los Angeles, but I don't really know anybody here, he says, and it's hard for me to meet people. And I thought that was so sad.
Yeah, it is, because he was so, protected and sheltered.
Yeah, he just couldn't go out and
right.
meet anybody. So, I told him, well, I got really strange hours, so if you want to get together and write or something, call.
Well,
and
I wish that would have.
Yeah, that was the summer before they got that tour, and then everything changed, so he wasn't back in Vegas after that.
What a great experience for you, and
it was kind of cool, wasn't it?
It was a lucky thing for him too, because he got to meet our Jerry Lopez,
yeah,
the king of Las Vegas.
Oh yeah, I don't know. Clint's in the audience. King's over there.
Will you sing for us now?
Sure. Okay. Let's see.
Is this an original song?
Yeah. Laying here thinking about my life. When I was your man, you were my wife. Baby, I feel like crying. Now that I'm gone, I miss you so. There's just some words to make you know. Baby, Diane. And don't you know that I want to come back home? No, I don't want to live my life alone. And I'll do anything that you want me to if you let me come back home to you.
Jerry Lopez, thank you so much for being our guest on Talktails.
Too early. I don't know. I can't sing.
Tonight is your night. What time do you start?
10:30.
10:30 at the Palms, right after you come to see me at the Bootlegger Bistro.
Bootlegger.
10:30. I'm sure my husband's always trying to escape out the bootlegger door
So
to
much
get
going
to
on
you.
on Mondays.
I know.
Cool.
Well, it's so special having you.
Thank you. Thanks for
All right,
having
will you
me.
play us out as we say
Yes.
goodbye? Mr.
Yes.
Jerry Lopez. Woo! Thank you, Kenny. Thank you, Scott and Jacob. Woo!
I should sell some guitars like a step-on. Hey!
Hey, why not?